Hi everybody, let me begin by talking about a certain shop in the close by market area where a couple looks after the shop. So in the morning the man comes and opens the shop, and then in the noon around 2 o'clock or something the lady would join in, and the man leaves, and then by 6 or 7 in the evening he would come and take over, and she leaves by 10 o'clock. The shop closes. This shop runs well. It's a grocery shop. Okay, but what happens usually that in those 4 hours in which the lady looks after things, people don't go to that grocery shop. Not many people would go to that grocery shop that they otherwise go to, and they would go to some other shop where a man is sitting. So it's a thing which is disconcerting for me as a woman to see. And you know that at least in India, women lost more jobs during the pandemic than men. So uh, that's also a sad thing. So it's a usual perception that women are trusted less. Now, if I go on talking about giving certain statistical data in favor or against it, so obviously, if at all, there is a man passing by, he would think that he would have the same kind of sentiment that we have when we hear some financially, a fakir talking about how useless it is to have money because money gives you nothing, or mm, a person who's plain looking talks about beauty is skin deep and there's something more. It's like, okay, you don't have it anyway, so yeah. So right. So if a woman talks about that, see, this is what this data say. This is what is there. You can go find it out on your own. This is obviously not going to sit well with certain section of the society, but that's all right. I wanted to talk about something interesting, so here I am. So there were certain researches that I hit upon accidentally. I wasn't looking for it. I mean, I this is gender thing, and who's better, who's not, and whatnot is so useless, because obviously whoever is created, they all have some place in the world. And yeah, so starting with the statistics. So I obviously uh, I already not obviously I already said that more women lost their jobs. My I'm a little under weather, so I'm a little slow. So what I was saying was there were certain researches that I went through, and then you can go through them yourself. It's all there on net. But in case you don't want to do this extra labor, I'm here to secondly put it into a capsule form, to encapsulate it in something very comprehensive plus informative. Yes. So it has been found out, contrary to what even I believed, that businesses that are run by women, they sustain for a longer time. So last year I'd made a video that if your business can uh, at least if it sustains for at least 10 years, there are better chances of you sustaining for a long, long time. So if you can take it to 10 years mark, you're good to go. So women entrepreneurs manage to do that. Second thing is that they take controlled risks. So this is the reason they don't uh, they don't go out there and take on risky stuff. They don't go out there and do risky stuff. So their risk is calculated. Their profit, they run after controlled profit, and the money that they earn, they reinvest it rather than making putting it in some equity. So yeah, and plus they love creating jobs. So if even if they are able to create low paying jobs, they would love to give employment to somebody. So this has been found over the years. And one thing, a very interesting uh, a very interesting study from Netherlands. They do all kinds of very um, informative, insightful stuff. Netherlands, if you study all these countries, Nordic countries, they really delve deep into things that can give you uh, an important insight. So there was this study done um, in which men and women entrepreneurs were compared, and I've noticed certain points down. They were actually no, no, but that's not going to help me a great deal. So whatever I remember. So they were actually judging the enterprising qualities of both and how are they different. So it was found that men and women entrepreneurs have different work culture. So if they are at the helm of things, they would create a system that would have a different work culture, but they nothing, no system is inferior or superior uh, eh, to the one to the other one. And they here is something really interesting. So it was found there were four parameters: pioneer, that is you go ahead, start something new, and then salesperson, and then management, and finally specialist. So it was found that men were better at pioneering things, to start something new, to experiment with something new, and they were better specialists of their subjects. But what women were better in was they were better salespersons. They were better salespersons, and their management style was also better. Uh, and the way they have explained it is that men have collective ambition. So, how is everyone reaching the point? Women also set self goals that become very important for them to achieve. So this is an important point. Another few points that are important, or I felt were interesting, was that men spend, these are the points where men and women differ. Men spend more time in offices, and if they start a new venture, they're just propelled to give all their time to these ventures. Women, on the other hand, spend lesser time comparatively into their offices or their ventures, and also like to have some time to themselves or their social responsibilities, and they like to spend time with their spouses and children. So it's not, comparatively they spend lesser time, but it has been noticed that while men spend more time in the offices, they take more breaks, while women are confined to their chairs and their desks or benches, whatever, desks, and they take lesser number of breaks. So this is an important point. Then, as for uh, yeah, men are more dominating. As for the management style, men are more dominating. And the plus point is of this, people immediately listen to them, and the whole system is running on a decisive path. Women, on the other hand, they fall short of this domineering nature. Some women try to compensate, but it's not them, because by nature it's not women's nature to be this way. However, when they stumble upon something, if they find something difficult, it has been found that women do not hesitate to take help, while men find it very difficult to ask for help. Plus they want to show to the world they can do it all on their own. So that's also there. Now this is pretty much it. I don't want to stretch the matter too much. So this was the research, the long and short of the research. This is another good research that I found. It talks about the perception. It talks about how women are perceived to be less competent, and uh, they did this research in the music world, men, women creating music. So it's also perceived that men are more creative, while the researchers show that men and women are equally creative. Uh, However, okay, this particular thing. So there were women. Let's talk about this one particular musician who created a song. She composed a song. Okay, she did music composition and she also sang, etc., etc. And she made people hear her composition first. That is the music she had created, and she got mixed responses. Some people liked it, some people didn't. And to the other crowd, the same composition, just the music bit, not the lyrics and the when you sing it, not the singing part. The same composition was uh, other set of people were made to hear this composition, and this time a man presented the same composition that the woman had created, and all of them received the composition well. So it's isn't it hard hitting when a woman creates it and she presents it? Many people find it, half of them will find it not so good, and the same composition is presented by a man, and people trust men more. So what is happening is a positive thing, that since there is a lot of negative evaluation that women have to go through, so they try extra harder. They would make double the effort to to be acknowledged, recognized. They continuously work on their skills, and there is no doubt that men are better at risk taking. So if they reach high, they reach highest of highs, but when they hit the low, they would hit like really low. So and of course they're more uh, dominating or decisive. Their management style is more decisive. So just to sum it up, yes, the work culture is different when you have a man at uh, at the highest position, and or when you have, in comparison to when you have a system where woman is taking things ahead. But it's absolutely a wrong notion to think that a certain gender would be better at things. All right, so I was not, as I said, aiming to read about women and men entrepreneurs. I was reading something else. I was reading about the middle class. I plan to do a video on this. My next video should be connected to this. If I gather enough information, I already have good amount of information, but as I said, things are not falling into place these days, so I'm not doing much. The trigger was Karl Marx theory, in which he talks about middle class, and it's not directly connected to what idea I got, but then it helped me. it put that seed. So if I'm able to articulate it, I'll come again next time. But you know what, my another goal, objective of making a video is to show this thing off. This was given to me by my sister, but I have never not gotten a chance to wear it until now, because we don't go out, given the I mean, we don't go out to socialize given this situation. We go out to get fetch the essentials, but not for anything else. So I guess no matter how hard I try, the video gets very lengthy. All right, bye.